Welcome back, Deadites and Ghost Beaters. If you're new to the channel, I am Oldhead Gaming, and one of these indie games that we've definitely been keeping our eyes on the channel and dropping intermediate updates as the company themselves has given it to us is Beer Night Studio and Creativo's collaboration for the indie ASIM Carnival Hunt. Now, there's been a lot of news this week on Carnival Hunt from one, dropping a brand new trailer, which we'll see in just a moment if you haven't already, and of course they launched their Kickstarter, which has 22 days left and has already hit their minimum 50,000 goal to complete the game itself. Now, if you want to jump over to the Kickstarter and donate yourself, get whatever kind of pledge and rewards you want, the link is in the description below, so you can hop right over to the Kickstarter. But let's take a look at the trailer. And as you can see, there's a lot of cool stuff. We see a lot of new interactions between the Carnival Monster, in this case, the Magician, versus the Bunnies. The Bunnies are doing a lot of stuff. They're flying. You see the Magician put his hand through the hat to grab one. The key seems to be very important, and it looks like the Bunnies only have one of them. So there's a lot of stuff we've seen in the actual battles between the two, which sets up a really cool setup for the ASIM itself on that one map. But there's good news, and we'll hop over to the Kickstarter for that. As we hop over to the Kickstarter, we see, Carnival Hunt here has got its own little thing going, and as you can see, the first goal was 50,000, and it has been already reached. We hit that with no problems whatsoever. And what that included was we can now implement all the mechanics and game modes we had described before. We can also develop the imposter bunny, introduce a brand new character and their level for the monster known as the Sisters. So this is the Freak Show Frenzy. It looks like the Sisters are going to be a second killer to go along with the Magician and have their own map, which is pretty cool. Now, there is a stretch goal that is active as we speak right now of 70,000. Basically a very lore-based comic that you can unlock and learn more about this endless battle between the Carnival Monsters and the Bunnies. Think of something like the tomes in Dead by Daylight, where you get lore and you learn about the endless struggle between these two sides. Now, there is a third goal that is unlocked at this point. Who knows what that's actually going to entail, but I have a feeling there is a good chance they could be presenting itself pretty soon. As you can see at the time of recording this video, 57,000 plus is already in the bank, which means the game is good to go, and they're marching about 13,500 away from the stretch goal, which would be the lore comics. And there's 22 days to go, so I think there's a good chance that possibly hits. And right now you can do a donation on Kickstarter of any denomination, but I think most people are going to go for the $25 one because it actually comes with a copy of the game on Steam. And it also includes like your Kickstarter badge, your Discord role if you want to join their Discord, wallpaper, shit like that. I will be opting as soon as I hear back from Creativo for this one if possible, which would be the beta recruit, and it's going to have all the same stuff that the other one does, except you also get access to the beta. Now, the thing is, I want to find out from Creativo before I make my decision. There's 22 days for which one I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. If I can stream the beta and do content around it so you guys can see what it looks like in game before the game actually launches, I will absolutely spend the extra $10 to get the beta option. If not, we'll get the $25 normal version. But there's tons of different versions, you know, different ones that come with different bunnies and come with different types of options for gear and more bunnies and all sorts of stuff. And there's also one that is, you know, more betas and caps and cares. Like, you can kind of go all the way down to basically like $5,000, which is like the Puppet Master, which is their grand thing, and that's like 34 items. But let's be honest, like, no one really cares about all that. Right now, with everything, we know at this very second, you know, it's going to have asymmetrical gameplay, challenge objectives, multi-level circus settings, customization and gear systems, Carnival Monsters, a slot machine, Puppet Master, and the Magician, suspenseful atmosphere. We saw gameplay from the actual video, like the, you know, throwing the darts at the bunnies to stop them from being able to fly. So there's a lot of cool stuff we know is coming. We're going to get a second map. This is the first floor of the level layout. So kind of cool. We know there's a second map coming because of Hidden Goal. The gear system, there's going to be different types of gears, which is really cool. And you can learn a lot from the Kickstarter about this game. The slot machine, within the depths of the carnival, the floors lies the enigmatic Jack the Traitor in the notorious slot machine. We saw them booting the slot machine up. Bunnies exploring the eerie, vibrant world of Carnival Hunt will have the opportunity to encounter Jack and try their luck on the slot machine. Now, we saw them activating Jack. By utilizing the candies they've acquired, fellow bunnies can test their fate and potentially acquire 3 different items from the tools each offer. So you can get, like, this is how you get that unicycle or the balloons or the trampoline. You can basically get these items from Jack in your battle against the evil Carnival Monsters. So there's a lot of cool stuff. The game is still slated to come out this year. Hopefully by the end of the year we see it. My hope is the games can drop by Halloween. I don't know if they'll have enough time to finish it by then, and we may still see a drop in 2024. But we know that there's going to be at least 2 killers already set to go, and that was the Puppet Master and the Magician. And now we also see the fact that the sisters will be a 3rd killer that's being added to the game, which is pretty awesome. You learn about the magicians, the world. Like, the Kickstarter gives you a lot of detail. Exclusive bunny skins you can purchase, which would be available only through the Kickstarter itself. And as you can see, there's a lot of information you can get on the game just from the Kickstarter itself. Like I said before, there is a link in the description below. You can just hop over there if you want to be a contributor, or you just want to get a little more of that full information. I know I kind of sped over it. We saw a lot of interaction between the Puppet Master and the Magician versus the Bunnies. We didn't see anything of the sisters because obviously that hadn't been completely worked on, and I have a feeling the sisters will be DLC that comes later to the game and won't be available at launch. Now tell me what you think. Are you excited to see what this world has? Are you excited to see a Steam only? I know a lot of people want this game to go to console from what I've heard, but we know it's not going to yet, and I'm hopefully the more money that game gets, the more likely it would be able to translate to console at some point. Because I feel that ASIMs that don't get the console do tend to struggle. We've seen that with last year. We've seen that with VHS, which is now shutting down. We've seen that with Poppy's Playtime. So hopefully this game really takes off. This is a world that seems extremely intriguing to me. And it's one of the few projects I'm really, really just like hanging on pins and needles to see what ends up with the world of Carnival Hunt. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Are you excited to see where it's going? Are you going to be contributing? Do you not care about this game at all? We still do on this channel, and we'll keep you up to date with everything as it drops. As always, thanks for watching, and later, mates.